expressing
fucking
my
button.
discontent for
All right,
the.
now we are. I think so. You should get a notification, Peach.
Yes,
I like-
because there we are. Watch me now.
Whoop,
Oh,
whoop.
watch live now.
Whoop, whoop.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ask me about my wood. Here we go.
No,
There
no.
it is.
Sweet Brown. I went downstairs to get me a cold pop, and I thought somebody was barbecuing.
Barbecuing.
And I said, "Oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire!"
That
And then
movie's
I
awesome.
ran out. I didn't even grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran for my life. And then the smoke got me. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh my god! The fact he was able to do that perfectly was.
Yeah. He's been practicing that crap. He has to do it at least once a week.
Oh man, the remix on YouTube is my favorite thing ever, where they do like the chorus and everything in the background. Oh man, the beat behind it.
I love that.
God,
And she made it out. She's all right.
bro. She
Can
did.
we,
She made it out.
Can we get Alan's question out so we don't forget? Because it's
Okay.
fucking 2 weeks behind.
Yeah.
Alright,
that's
It's the
it.
only question we've ever gotten.
Yeah, so I actually want to hit it, Peach.
Mr.
Let's read
Mr.
it.
AC nailed it. I got a message forwarded to me from the podcast curator, Mr. Arturo Sosa, the Chopmaster.
Who we?
And it's a message from our longtime listener, longtime supporter / friend / thickness gauge producer, manufacturer. AC nailed it. All right. And he says, "Yo, fellas, following PJ's outro on the last episode, which I believe was, God damn it, can somebody please ask us a freaking question?"
Sounds about right.
He says,
Just do that every week.
yeah, man, it works.
That's the same desperation every week, and somebody will send us one.
And we gotta do like a whole like mix up of all your outros and sound, and so you can hear how desperate you sound.
Ain't
as
nobody
we
got
go-
time for that, man.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
So AC nailed it says this. How often do you intentionally make yourself uncomfortable trying new tasks or techniques? Not so much because you got a new thing for a client, but maybe just to try it because you saw someone else do it, or just curious. Are you just curious? Do you ever start feeling really comfy and complacent and think, I need to do something to screw all the good times up?
This really feels like a what's the lady that like does like those love questions? Like ask Abby. or
Sue, Doctor Sex with Sue. Yeah. Oh man, it's been a
Like
few
the-
minutes.
The wording of it is just so dead ass on with that. Like it is.
It is a bedroom
Uncomfortable.
question. You're right about
Yeah.
that. Definitely a bedroom type question.
Well,
Like I want to try clapping cheeks because all the kids keep saying it, but like, you know,
Oh
I
my
don't know if I'm too old for that because I'm
No.
33 now. So you know.
Ooh, man, you're getting
welcome.
up there.
Welcome to the 33 Club, by the way. Yes. If all our listeners have not yet sent Chris an audio message of themselves singing "Happy Birthday," I suggest you do so because it makes him extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Chris.
Yeah.
Mac Ramona let me know via Instagram that for 1 month out of the year he and I are the same age, and I like pretty much like cried in happiness. So-
Matt. Okay, he's older than us then, or you?
Well, you're older than me.
Yes.
Because I am
So-
young for our grade, despite us being pretty much the same. But
Chris
yeah,
was a
so-
kindergartner in second grade, really.
something like that.
Because he's Asian, that's why.
But so he's probably your age, actually. I would think, and maybe there's like just some sort of overlap
like
there.
like a
Like-
I've
6
gotta
months
find
or
out.
something.
I have to find out how old he is. I know he's like, well, actually, I think I had that conversation with him, but I don't know what month he's born. It doesn't matter, really. I'm thinking way too much about it.
Yeah, I think his birthday might be in like November or something, if that's the case. 'Cause if I'm-
November.
Yeah, November.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Muffember? No.
Oh God! All right,
Yeah,
back to the
okay,
question, man.
let's
Back
move
to the
on. All right,
question.
so-
Come on.
Back to the question.
Back to the
Back
question.
to the question. So
Come on,
AC wants to know what we do to intentionally make yourself uncomfortable. And I believe as soon as Arturo read me this question, I started like spouting off my response.
Yeah,
And he's
you
like,
did.
Whoa, whoa,
I
whoa,
told you.
man! Like, wait for the podcast, dude. You know, because it was really cool. And it's funny that he brought that up right at that moment because it was at a really weird time in my life. You know, it was
2 weeks ago.
like it was like I had just cleared out all these 1,000 board feet of slab, no, not 1,000 board feet, probably a million board feet of slabs out of a container. I start like insulating the inside of this box, and I have this goal in mind to make this big epoxy pour of a table that I've never done before. I don't know how the epoxy is going to behave. I don't know what temperature to keep the box at. I don't know anything really. I literally just know how to mix epoxy with pigment, and I know that I have this idea, and I'm like, I'm going to go 100 miles an hour at this idea and see what happens. And the only reason I was in that frame of mind is because the previous summer and the previous 4, 5, 6 months had been pretty good to all of us, you know. So I
Amen.
think that it's almost like the same reason why human population is out of control. Like when there's a lot of resources available, when there's a lot of stuff, when you don't really have to worry about anything, that's when you start doing dumb stuff, right? That's when you get out of your comfort zone, right? If I had to keep going with my bread and butter all along, um, just to kind of, pay the bills and keep chugging along forward, I would definitely not stick my neck out on a project like that because it's potentially a huge loss, right?
Definitely.
Um, so basically, to answer his question, yes, but only when I'm comfortable, and I hope that everybody's got moments when they're actually when they're doing well and they're comfortable enough to stick their neck out and try and learn something new. Uh, I wouldn't wish that uh, on anyone out of necessity. Like, let's say you had to stick your neck out and try something new, kind of like a sink or swim type of thing, like as your last ditch
Resort
effort to
type of thing.
just to make something of yourself. Like, sometimes that's necessary, but it's nice to be able to do an experiment when you have the time to do it. You know, like people say, humans do a lot of dumb things because they don't really have to worry about anything. We're at the top of the food chain. We have weapons. We wear clothes. We have inventions. We have opposable thumbs. Like, we don't really have to worry about much as far as nature is concerned. Like right now, I'm not fearing for my life that I'm going to get picked up by a pterodactyl and taken away because I'm in my house. Like, I don't have to worry about anything. So my mind is free to like experiment on dumb shit.
Guys, get ready
Hence that white river table.
for cooking class.
Which was almost what was it? You were gonna do like a clear river table with like moss
Oh.
and trees and some bullshit.
Which would have been way another level of stupid. Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh,
And,
I
like,
didn't know that. That's funny.
I feel guilty that I never mentioned how stupid that idea was.
You're a
like,
bad friend,
I know
Chris.
you-
Chris is a
No,
bad
you,
friend.
you didn't want to break my heart, man. I appreciate that.
Well, and PJ was so jacked up on. Well, and also it was pre. What was it? It was pre the first home show, pre the first scheduling,
The first
Yes.
schedule.
and then
2 weeks
he
prior.
also was, and it was like a week before that, and he was like, "Oh, like the epoxy's not." I forget what the excuse was. It was like it wasn't here or something,
Yeah.
and I was like, "So it wasn't going to be ready by then."
Right.
And I was like, "Well, thank God." Like Jesus, like that's a terrible. idea.
Oh, we dodged a bullet on that one, huh?
And then, well, Dave, Sage Seinko, was the one who set PJ straight and was like,
Yeah.
as his, stylistic man friend, was like,
He's my
bro.
work wife.
he's like, do not do that. Which,
Well, not even. It wasn't like do not do that. It was more like
you know what would be better?
I think. Yeah. I think it was good. Like, oh, okay, thanks, man.
Yeah. Oh God, I love Dave. Yeah. So for me to answer Alan's question is, I do that all the time. Like so being somebody that's trying to get down the road of content creation, I have to constantly be pushing myself in doing things that are completely uncomfortable. So, every single build, there's consistency and stuff that I have done before in every single build, but then there's always one little wrinkle on it as far as something that I haven't done before. So, I mean, if you look pretty much at every video except for the shop cabinet, which the element that I hadn't done before was literally Dusko cutting the logo in the front doors. Every video I've done so far on YouTube has some sort of element of something I haven't done. So the concrete table, obviously the GFRC concrete, the end table is the plate steel in there. The cutting board video is the turquoise inlay. I mean, I can go on, but like everything has some sort of element of something I haven't done before. And I mean, I should be better at experimenting before I start videoing, but I don't.
Where's the fun in that?
Yeah,
Well,
man. Wanna
part of
catch
it
all.
too is that, you know, part of the brand, I guess, and part of what I want to do is I want to show how to overcome mistakes, right? So like, you know, part of that too I think is having me actually make the mistake on camera and then show a little bit of the process of how I pivot from that, you know. So I mean, to answer his question, like I'm doing that shit all the time. Like I'm actually about to do a couple different builds. So one of them is taking that coffee table that you had flattened for me, the mahogany cookie,
Mm,
and I'm actually gonna finally fucking make something out of it.
attaboy.
Yeah, but instead of doing say bow tie Dutchman, you know, something like that in the crack, I'm going to use steel and kind of do like staples down the crack.
Very
Attaboy.
nice. Very nice.
Staple my crack. All right.
Yeah, I've
Staple.
seen it done before, and I
Yeah,
mean,
like the stitching, right? The
Yeah.
I've seen like copper wire being used as.
I've
like,
seen the
shoelaces.
copper.
Well,
Yeah.
copper wire. There's a guy on Instagram who's out of England. This guy Waffles Design.
I'm
he's
sorry.
he's hilarious, and he makes some really cool stuff. I think PJ, you'd actually really like his account because a lot of it's like sort of like big, chunky, like rustic. He does a lot of live edge stuff too. Stumps like but he does it like in a really like artful and cool way. But like he's the first guy I saw do this staple thing, and I don't think he's the originator of it. I'm sure other people have done it before, but it's something I haven't seen done in like an instructional way in
Okay.
a video.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what, like I'll give it a whirl. I got some extra steel rod laying around, so
That's cool.
You know, be worth it.
That's not bad.
Waffle,
And then, yeah, WUFFLES design.
like waffles with a U. I'm following him
Yes.
currently. Yes.
Yeah,
Well, now, starting now. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, he does some. Oh, that's a lot of live edge stuff. All right.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. No, he does some really cool stuff.
Oh, dude. Okay, this is
Yeah.
badass. And then later oh, this
So-
is very very interesting, dude. Very very cool. Like stitches. I like it.
Yes.
IFW this heavy.
Yeah. So the other project that I'm also going to do simultaneously with this one, because I think one of the things I might start doing is actually doing two projects at once and kind of flipping between filming the two of them,
Mhm.
which is what I did with the concrete table and then the cutting board video, sort of. The second project would be, and I'm getting feedback from somebody, so I don't know if somebody's got their volume up or something.
No, mine's regular.
But anyway, so
Oh yeah, I hear that.
Is that better?
Is it
No.
B?
Bueller.
Is it me?
It might be.
Like, am I louder than I am normally?
Not
No,
to
you're-
me, at least.
No. Okay.
But maybe
Well,
you had the mic too close to the speaker or something.
Ooh,
Maybe.
Nope. I just heard it on Arturo just now.
I'm hearing it on you
Oh.
now. But my mic's away. Like literally,
Bueller?
my mic's over here.
There.
It-
No, that's better.
Are your headphones plugged in?
Yes.
Oh, that's why I can't hear anybody. I was just reading lips.
The closed caption on the bottom. You kidding?
Oh man.
Oh,
Okay.
Chris needed that at the home show.
Ugh. Yeah.
With the Spanish. Yeah.
So
No, not for that reason.
no.
Oh,
No, it's for the YouTube videos. But anyway, so the second video that I'm gonna do is a single bottle of whiskey cabinet. So
Ooh.
yeah, so it'll
Oh.
basically kind of be. You've seen those wine bottle gift boxes that
Yeah.
people do
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for like a single bottle of wine.
Like a sliding top kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
imagine that, but a little bit longer, and then there'll be a shelf that'll hold two glasses, or two shelves that'll hold two glasses. So it'll be really long and skinny. And then I'm gonna do a timbre door, so the little slat door
Okay.
Oh.
that slides.
Ooh,
Yeah.
the Tambadors. That's cool.
Yeah. And I've never done timbre doors before.
Never done. That's
so-
something that I've always been interested in because I forgot who I follow that does it, and they do all the furniture pieces out of timbre, like all the
Yeah.
doors. And
So
they wrap.
there's a couple different ways to do it, and one of the ways is using a router, and you need a router table for it too, I think, to really do it properly. But I don't want to do that. So the other way I've seen is essentially getting all your slats lined up, and then you're gluing a fabric onto the back
Yeah.
of all your slats.
That's the one I've
Oh.
seen. It's
Yeah.
you glue
I
a
didn't-
fabric to the back, and then the little track.
Yeah, you wrap the groove
Yeah,
in
the
the track. But
yeah.
yeah, like you have essentially, the fabric that's holding all your slats together.
But it's a certain fabric that gives it. I forgot what fabric it was.
I mean, you can use a bunch of different ones. I'm using duck canvas,
Okay.
so that's like, I guess, um, yeah. It's weird because I thought they were saying ducked on the video when I saw it, but no, it is duck, like quack quack,
Oh,
and
jeez.
it is really weird. Anyway,
So
so
I had to Google what timbre doors were.
They're really
It's like
cool.
the sliding whatever. They have kits, with the spring loaded. It's like a garage door basically, like a.
yeah, you can get all the kits. Mine's gonna be super simple, and it's not gonna be very big. It'll be like kind of long, but like the travel distance is pretty short. I mean,
So what you're saying is, it's not the size of the boat,
Oh,
it's the
God.
motion of the ocean.
motion of the ocean. I guess is that no? Okay, that's not what you're saying at all. We're
I
talking
mean,
about
no,
timbre doors.
Yeah, we could still go with that, I guess. Yeah.
Let
Man,
it ride.
Sorry guys.
It's not the girth, it's the length.
Yeah, they used to call me the tuna can back in college. That's why.
1 inch tall, but hitting all the sides.
Oh God.
That's horrible. Oh, God.
Oh man. So yeah, that's kind of those are the new things I'm gonna be doing, and there's gonna be bent lamination involved in it too for the
Ooh, okay.
That's fun.
yeah. So
Wait, bent lamb how? With the like basically the shape of the carcass or?
no, the base. So I want to do like some
Oh.
like arced bases and something like that. I haven't quite.
Oh, it's not going to hang on the wall. It's
No,
not-
no, no. In fact, initially I was thinking about making it, and this is kind of ridiculous now that. Well,
Probably. Yeah.
but the point of this is to be ridiculous in a weird way.
Yeah. No, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So the idea was to even have it as potentially like a freestanding piece of furniture. So it would be like kind of tall, like a cabinet, like just like you had a cabinet that was say like 30 inches, 30-inch base, with a tall one whiskey bottle cabinet, something like that. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it sort of designed to be in a bar, or sitting on a bar or something like that. So it'll
Okay.
be like a tabletop, I guess.
Tabletop case type of thing.
Like those, sometimes at restaurants they have those fancy dispensers.
Yes,
For
kinda.
like Jägermeister has, you
Jägermeister
flip
has
the
the thing.
bottles over and,
Yeah.
and you just like dispense. Yeah, it's got a
Yeah.
metered dispensary kind of thing.
Yeah, like I don't want to quite use the word ornament, but like to me, that's kind of what I'm almost thinking is like, say you have like a kitchen island, this can like sit on top of your kitchen island, and when you're ready to have your one or two glasses of whiskey with a buddy, you
Mhm.
just slide open the door and you have this, your top shelf bottle, right, goes in there or something.
Yeah,
like that. Like,
yeah, the showpiece. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Very
that's
nice.
probably be a dovetailed carcass too, so that'll be exciting as well. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of doves, bees, any word on the saw? Did you
Yes.
contact the guy? Yeah. Okay. Good.
So funny enough, that guy Eric from Floor Up Toolworks, he just posted that he was getting to the American chestnut saws,
Nice. Okay.
and
Good.
he like posted like a picture of like a ton of them, like because there's an order for, I want to say maybe like 7 or 8 people ordered the chestnut saws,
Okay.
and I could see mine in there, and I
Oh,
was like,
nice.
yeah, I made a comment too. I was like, I see it, and he's like, yep, buddy, that's it. So he actually, I don't
Please.
quite recall what he did, but he got hurt working
Oh.
the other day
Juliet.
too, which is also I think something that like
Emotionally or
no, physically, like something
Oh.
happened and he like hacked up like a piece of his hand or something.
Oh,
ouch.
God.
Yeah,
Oh, geez.
like,
Okay.
nothing
You
like
know, hey,
permanent.
those hand
you know?
tools will do it to you, man. Power tools are the way to go. I'm telling you.
Well, no, that's what did it.
That's what that is.
I forget what it is. Like, cause obviously he uses power tools to
Yeah.
make the saws and stuff.
Sure.
So it was something like one of the machining tools or something. I mean, I can't quite remember. It's a few weeks back, but yeah, something grabbed him and like I said, it's not like permanent damage or anything like that. It just it got him. It bit him good.
Yeah.
So,
Ugh.
Yeah.
That's not very good.
yeah.
Yeah. We've
But,
all been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of puts everything to a complete and ridiculous halt for 3 or 4 weeks at least before you can figure out your new normal about how to like avoid using a certain finger to do to like wipe your ass and stuff.
Sounds interesting.
I remember picking up my first radial arm saw with the tip of my middle finger cut off, and I had talked to the guy the week prior about picking it up and whatever, and like he was jet set on a certain day and time, so it was cool because I was off work anyway, so I'm like, hey, I can meet you today, but then little did I know, there was a little tiny old man that was selling me the saw, so I had to lift it up myself and everything, but I was giving everybody the finger while I'm like carrying this radial arm saw from his van to my truck, because I'm sticking my finger out to keep it from touching anything. But that's the end of my story.
So Arturo, how are you pushing yourself per Alan's question?
Well, I try to do as much as I can. It's just time is not very friendly right now. But on the CNC especially, because CNC could do a lot more things than just cutting crap out. I started a little bit with the textures, like the little patterns and stuff like that, and that was exciting. But I want to do a lot more on that. And then, like when I want to do it, I usually ask the client. I get a feel of the client. Like for that coffee table that I did that pattern on over the summer, I asked her, hey, could I do something like cool on it that I've never done before? And they're like, yeah, go for it. And now we're building a cabinet that the whole front of it's gonna be that pattern.
Oh,
yeah.
For the same client?
For the same client, yeah. Wow. That's the one that's gonna hide the fridge. It's gonna hide a fridge inside of it. So it's gonna have their beer mini fridge inside, and the whole front is that walnut piece that's in the old shop.
Yeah.
That's gonna have the whole pattern on it, and it's gonna have the 3 doors. Yeah. So
we gotta figure out a way to keep that flat.
Yeah. Well, I gotta move it now to the new shop, and then put it on the floor.
What new shop?
Oh no, we haven't gotten there yet. That's not the question. That's my topic.
Sorry.
Stop it. But yeah, I mean, I guess pushing. I try to get it. I try to push myself as much as I can. As long as the time allows it. I guess, since I don't do nothing really that crazy, but if I have time to sit down, figure it out, break it down, try it on a piece, and I can put it into perspective. It's cool because, man, I have this giant CNC and I use maybe 10% of it, 20% of it max, of everything I can do, 3D carvings and all that stuff. So I try, depending on the client. I like working at a client per project type of thing. So if I want to get creative on something, like, hey, I have this idea of this pattern or something, I'll wait for the right project to incorporate it a little bit. Get creative. Why not? Push it a little bit. And it's scary, though, because you don't know how the CNC is going to act. You don't know how the bit's going to act. You don't know how it's going to look because each bit is different. It's a lot of variables there, but, I want to try it as much as I can. So at least, you get something new under your belt as much as you can.
If you screw up, like...
It sucks.
It sucks, yeah, and it costs you
a lot of money.
And it might piss off a potentially really good, return client.
Correct. So I won't do it like in every project. Like I get a feel of the client, if they're willing to do it. Like this particular client, they're very open with us. So she was like, yeah, go for it, do it, let's do it, and they love it. They love the idea, and they're like, but now we want to incorporate it to everything. I'm like, okay, great, cool, So it works out. But you gotta get a feel of the client. So, luckily for me, I've been fortunate in the past couple months, be packed. Like I'm behind schedule because of work, but I haven't had any free time. So I'd like to squeeze in any little creativity into every little project when I can. So
I can FW that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, do it as much as you can, bro.
It circles back to having excess resources and excess time.
Yeah, excess time.
Like you really, that's it. You only screw around. You only push that envelope when you need to, because we're all, we all do this for a similar reason. Like we're trying to pay bills. We're trying to get ahead.
Yep.
Chris is trying to make videos.
Yeah. Yeah, and, which I see how.
So we can't screw around. It's gambling, basically.
Yeah, it's gambling. Yeah, and I can see how Chris, out of all three of us, I think Chris will be the one mostly, pushing that envelope.
Yes.
Just to get creative in every video, which could be difficult. I don't see why, it's not something that everyone could do, because you might fail at it, like, miserably, or you might succeed, So it's cool to see, like, let's say Chris pushing that envelope in every video, trying to get something new, like, creative. And that's great that you're able to do that,
I had a very interesting conversation with Brian from Bike City Woodworks. So Brian and I launched our channels at the same time, and like literally the same weekend, actually the same Saturday, which I may have sandbagged him on accident because I wasn't planning on launching my channel, and he'd been planning on launching his channel for like a month and a half because he's a very tedious
son of a bitch
and meticulous person. But PJ was like, "Get it out," and I was like, "All right,
just fucking do it."
So anyway, like, but he and I we've been friends for, now, oh God, it's going to be a couple of years now. But, we've been constantly talking about our YouTube channels and like what our views are. And he's been a little disheartened because his channel hasn't grown as fast as his Instagram account grew from when he started. Like literally a year to date from when he started his Instagram account, he had like 12,000 followers. So
Wow.
Damn.
yeah. Whereas like with YouTube, I mean, he's doing well, but he's operating at my pace. Like we have literally like the same amount of followers, or sorry, subscribers on YouTube. So, we were kind of getting into this whole thing about, what our views are. Because, there's a lot of guys like on YouTube that really are just making things. I mean, they're making things for the purpose of making things. Like they like to make things, but they're also doing it from an aspect of I'm not trying to necessarily get better as a woodworker or get better as a craftsman. I'm really just trying to drive people to my channel, so therefore it benefits me monetarily. So like
Yeah.
guys that have kind of like clickbaity thumbnails and clickbaity projects that are not necessarily the most interesting thing, but it's going to get the masses to click on your thumbnail and watch your video, which then is going to translate into dollars and cents. So for those fellas, like it's a great business model, and it's not even the slightest knock on them. But like Brian and I were talking, I was like, listen, I was like, my goal for my channel, and it's the same for him too, is to elevate my craft as a woodworker and a maker, and that is like first and foremost. Like that's really what I want. And so, like you're not going to necessarily see from either of us really those like sort of off the wall projects with neon colors and all that. But like what you will see, are like I guess new techniques, new approaches, new designs, etc. And that's like going to be the focus of our channel. Like I think, and we talk about Matt Cremona all the time, but Matt Cremona is one of those guys that like does those things in a really, he's not a clickbait guy. I mean, at the end of the day, like he knows his audience, he knows how to feed them basically, and then they feed him in return.
Yep.
And that's that's
Literally.
the goal.
Yeah.
So.
I was thinking about Matt, like from a YouTube perspective, and like Zero. I watch all his videos just because whatever, I'm interested in what he's doing.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking like, the amount of effort that you put into a YouTube video is up like 30-fold compared to the amount of effort that he puts into a YouTube video. You know what I mean? Like the editing wise and music and transitions and this and that and different shots and stuff. But like you said, like he knows his audience. He's not trying to like.
I'll tell you what though, like so when you start spending, I guess the amount of time that I spend on like looking at a video and editing and all that stuff, and you watch somebody like Matt's video, you realize that he's actually putting a lot more effort into the video than you would think. So
Really?
Yeah, like he actually, and I don't know if it's just recently, but he's very thoughtful with his camera angles, and he's got a macro lens that he messes with. So like he'll get those really awesome like up close and personal shots.
Yeah.
Like he's very thoughtful with those things for sure. And just looking at, I remember actually there's a build that he did a while back with what's his name, the Wood Whisperer, Mark, and I think he was in Mark's shop, which actually kind of cracked me up because they were doing a shot that was like an overhead shot over whatever workpiece he was doing, and he had to talk to the camera, and I think there were multiple cameras up there because he was looking at the wrong camera, which cracked me up. Like, so, and it wasn't a throwaway. I guess obviously.
It was a good shot.
What?
Yeah, and he was doing a quality explanation or whatever. But I remember that cracked me up. I was like, dude, Matt's not in his element because he's looking up there and there's like fucking probably like at least two,
Go downstairs,
three cameras,
please.
and he doesn't know which one to look at, and he's talking at the wrong camera for 3 minutes.
Damn it.
But yeah, it was good. But like for a guy like that, where I think a lot of people, even Mark, the Wood Whisperer, granted he has somebody else that's doing a lot of his videos and etc. Like as far as like the filming aspect of it, as an assistant. A lot of people look at it and they're like, oh, it's so simple. But like those guys, they spend a lot of time. I think where they also spend a lot of time is scripting the build, really.
Sure. Yeah, doing a storyboard basically.
Yeah, like knowing what shots to get. Yeah, what what scenes you want, etc.
Yeah.
And those are
tell the
things
story.
that I don't do so much. Like I'm just kind of like, yeah. Which maybe
Well, you're a voiceover guy. Like your storyboard is kind of like, well, at least the picture side of the storyboard is done.
Yeah.
You have the whole build from start to finish, and you kind of sit back and watch it and explain what you're doing
Yeah.
in each
Yeah.
shot. Like you make the storyboard as you're editing the video.
Yeah, and then what I try to do as well, I mean, I think this is what I think a lot of people appreciate is that, when I have a process, I try to capture the process from at least two, but sometimes three different angles. So, there's going to be a lot of times a wide shot, a mid shot, and then a close up. And then
Yeah.
I'll try to like vary those in like a similar process. And sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't, like as far as the actual like film coming together. But
I remember one of the first times I ever, Matt ever responded to one of my comments on his YouTube videos was, I think he was running the bandsaw, right, and he was following a pattern, following a line that he drew, and the shot was so close, like you see individual little bites being taken out of the wood, and I'm like, this is an awesome shot, and I think my comment was something to the effect of, it's really cool how you get so close to it. It's almost like I'm there, and you capture that like oh shit moment when you're like, you got a little bit too close, and then I saw how he reacted and moved, adjusted, and you know what I mean. And he's like, yeah, it was an oh shit moment for sure. Like, that's it. But like, it's cool. I like that macro lens, man. Like that really kind of makes you feel like you're there.
yeah,
And when done properly, he used a lot of hand tools. You use a lot of hand tools. When done properly, it's a better teaching tool using a macro lens.
yeah,
Because I'm sure you've got people that are genuinely interested in the process, that want to learn, that learn visually, that are there like trying to zoom in and like how exactly did he hold it and how exactly did he do it or whatever.
Right.
Like that makes a big difference.
yeah, man. And
Well,
when you're thinking about, and I can't remember if Matt uses two cameras or not, but assuming that he doesn't, which I don't know why I'm going to make that assumption, but let's assume that he
Go
doesn't.
ahead,
That's a
man,
lot of
whatever.
work.
Yeah.
Assume whatever you want.
Then if you're using a macro lens, and then you have to take that lens off in the middle of your
Yeah,
build
and replace
swap
it.
it onto another lens, so
Yeah.
that way that you can just move about the rest of your build. So
Yeah.
that's a process.
That has to
and-
be like two cameras, at least one on standby, not always recording, just for that reason. 'Cause
Well,
that-
I've seen in video shots of another camera. So that means
oh,
that,
so he
like,
has two then.
if there's
Yeah.
a camera taking video of another camera, then there are essentially two cameras at least.
Yeah, what I think, if I recall, what he does is he has a regular, like a video, like a dedicated video camera, and then he has a DSLR that he'll use for video as well.
Okay.
I think that's how that works, but I mean, for me, like I use the DSLR and then I use the GoPro. That's like my, two
that's your
camera
back and forth.
system. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a pain in the butt, but I mean,
Yeah, but he produces some awesome shots, man.
Yeah.
yeah. And honestly, like I get a lot of joy. And there's a Mark from Remarkable Woodworks. I don't know if you follow Mark. He's
That's a clever name.
Yeah,
Remarkable. I like that.
he's a good dude. One of the Canadian guys that there's like a whole little crew of him with the Stump Shop and
Oh, okay.
Stump Shop is
Dom
funny.
from
Vic.
And Inspired. But they actually have a podcast too. And
Oh.
Mark was talking about on his podcast how he's kind of getting to this point because he's just started getting into like YouTube and making videos and content creation from like the video side of things and editing and etc. And he's like I don't even know if I really like woodworking and carpentry that much. He's like, I really really like editing video and like creating a story and like doing that. And I mean, I definitely like woodworking and I enjoy that, but I do have a lot of fun like actually editing the video itself and like creating something like that.
You're creating something about something you created. It's like ultimate satisfaction.
Yeah, I mean the same satisfaction I get from finishing the table or finishing whatever piece of furniture I just did, I also get when I finish the video too.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
kind of cool, in a way.
Take
Double
it to the
dipping
next
on.
Yeah. Putting your whole mouth in the video. No, that's bad.
Jesus.
Bad joke. Bad joke I made.
Down
So,
half
So
Oh,
Arturo alluded
yeah.
to something a little bit earlier.
oh yes, the secret.
He made an allusion,
An
not an
illusion.
illusion, not something fake that you can imagine, but an allusion, A-L-L, to
Jeez.
some type of shop space. That's
Yes.
something,
So officially like 90% in the new shop. We got a new shop due to the space constraints in the old shop.
Yeah.
I mean, I went from 300 square feet to 1,500 square feet.
That's
Um,
500%.
yeah, there you go. Right? Yeah, I guess. No. But yeah, so my lease was ending,
Hmm.
and at the end of August, so I had to make a decision if I wanted to move to a new space or keep the space or get something there a little bit wider, but didn't really have that many options. So we had like ultimately my idea like in this woodworking journey, we have an idea of having a bigger shop, being able to do maybe classes one day,
Mm.
having like a type of showroom in one area. Like we talked about the slabs and all that. Have an office area, something more professional, I guess. I want to say, and we had talked about it back, my wife and I, back in June, July, because there's a giant warehouse right in front of me of my old bay. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's make it happen. What do we need to make it happen? And she was all for it, and so was I. So we found a beautiful place, like 10 minutes from the house, which is great.
Hmm.
So we were able to pick up that 1,500 square feet after like 3 weeks of them like horse pooping us around, and they gave us 1,500 square feet. We have like 20-foot plus ceilings. It's awesome. Three-phase power, all the power I needed, because that was another problem at the other base, the power constraint, which people don't realize until they run into that wall, and that's a hard wall to
Yeah.
hit
Yeah.
because there's no way of fixing that. Like, no matter what mistake you make, that is your biggest mistake, and you can't fix that.
So you don't have to run your VFD anymore.
Well, I run the VFD just because it controls the RPMs of the spindle. I was
Oh,
talking to Chris
okay.
about it before you got in,
Yeah.
before we started the
Yeah.
podcast. That we were talking about three-phase converters and VFDs and all that. The thing with the VFDs is that you can control the RPMs. So
Now, like the fact that there's three phase going into the VFD doesn't matter. Like it. You
well,
just
no,
kinda,
because remember, three-phase is split into single-phase branches.
yeah.
So it comes in, and you got the three-phase, and you have a neutral, and then you have a ground. So it's actually split into single phases on the breaker, on the where the breakers are.
Hmm.
Right. That's what I'm trying to. I'm not no electrician. I am not
Well, no,
an expert on this.
I was just getting at like you used the VFD to convert from one
Single,
phase to three phase before.
correct, correct.
Now you have three phase,
Yeah, but you
but
still
you
want to
can still
run.
use the VFD
You
because it
still,
controls.
yeah.
Okay.
You can still use it because how the breakers are separated. It's always single phase type of. If I understand this correctly, like it has 3 bars coming down, but there's always 2 that are connected. So you
Okay.
have the middle is always connected to both sides,
Yes.
right? So you have the single phase, and then you have the both sides coming in. If I'm understanding that correctly, hold on. I think no, I'm still here. All right, yeah. So it has the 3 faces going down. So it has the middle branch. Let's say usually it has 3 branches. The middle branch is split in between the 2, and then the 2 are basically like single phase because they have the middle one. So you'll do, let's say if it's 3 phase, so you have the 3 cables coming in. You'll do 2 on one side, and then 1 on the other, and that'll give you a
Okay.
3 phase.
Okay.
Oh, I can't hear you, Peach.
You can't hear me?
Is it me?
Can Chris? Can you hear me?
I can hear
Hold
both
on.
of you.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Hold on.
I think it's
Oh, oh no. Hold on. I think it was me. My hearing went out. Uh-oh. Oh no. Wait, hold on. What the heck is this? Oh geez.
three phase
Well,
power is more commercial, whatever.
Yeah, I remember when we were shopping for my table saw. Remember, we went to that guy who had the
Oh,
Grizzly that was
mhm.
3 phase,
Yeah.
and that Grizzly
What?
was.
I can't hear
And
you
I
at
was
all.
telling Arturo about it before the show started. That Grizzly was a 7 horsepower, like cabinet saw.
Yeah, it was a big saw, man.
Like you could have
Big motor.
literally taken that motor out of that like saw and thrown it in a cart and gone 45 immediately. Like that's
Immediately.
how badass that thing was. But that was, three-phase power, and that was a huge building that was literally operating probably multiple table saws or multiple devices at once.
Yeah.
That all demanded a shitload of power.
All right,
Like,
I'm
that was
I'm
quite the
back.
operation.
And that's really why they do it, because it's for industrial applications like that. We've got a dust collector that pulls 50 amps by itself.
Yeah.
You've got an
Right.
air conditioner that pulls 50 amps by itself. Like, all right, I'm already tapped out. That's 100 amps. That's all I have in my shop.
Yeah.
Now you
Yeah.
can't even turn on a light.
Yeah, so how
You know?
Griff explained it to me, if I was correctly, that if you overload, let's say one side, you can move your breakers to the other that's not overloaded. Since you're only sharing 2 poles out of the 3.
Understood. Oh, so you never
You
get
get what I'm
that,
saying?
like when the AC turns on in your house and the lights dim. for
Right,
just a
you won't get
second,
that.
You would never get that.
No,
in the
because
shop.
then if
Alright.
it does that, you just move, let's say, the AC
Third-
to another
third
side.
one takes over. Yeah.
Right. If I understand this correctly, I am not an expert. I'm just doing it based off of my experience, and that's what I understood.
Sometimes
So
my third leg takes over too.
there you go. Sometimes, right?
That's why they call you tripod.
There you go. But yeah, so it's cool. It's cool that we have. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of amps, but at least I can put the CNC on one side and the vacuum on the other, and still have a ton of
Did you
space.
set up dust collection yet? Because I saw a Griff story the other day, and you were throwing sawdust all over the place. I'm like, here we
Because
go again.
no, we clean up every night. Like every night, it's all shop swept and all that, so it has minimal dust. But we got the dust collector. I'm getting it set up hopefully this weekend. I just brought it from we brought it from the old shop, and then I had to like makeshift bag type of thing because I didn't have any more bags or anything like that. And then got the reducer. So we're gonna start hooking that guy up, and then I'll bring the other one.
Are you
You know
gonna
what
be using like that dust boot thing, the little brush thing around the spindle?
Yeah, so
Or
the thing with
is that not a
the CNC is I'm gonna have, you remember that Delta one? The one that was on the top shelf that fell on me?
Yes.
That I
remember
pulled it and just brought everything down with it. I'm like, crap. So we're gonna use that one around the shop because it has wheels and stuff. And then the Harbor Freight with the Cyclone, I'll put it towards the CNC and use that guy. Maybe get like a blue container, bigger blue like
Yeah,
drum.
55 gallon.
Yeah, something like that. And then that they're like cheap. They're like $25.
I see them on offer up all the time.
Yeah, there's a lady that sells them that we bought for my friend's turtle pond, using them as a biofilter. Remember I told you that, PJ? Oh, you saw them.
Yes, I saw 'em.
Yeah, they're $25. So I'm gonna grab
Yeah,
one of
man,
those and
yeah.
just put it right there on the top and call it a day.
Nice.
But yeah, so we'll get the dust collection set up on there. But
You know what you could
pretty cool.
use, and I could use it too. So if you find, the device that works for it, let me know. But like, they make those. I don't even know what you call them. It's some sort of like auto switch where you plug your
Yeah,
table saw and the dust collector into it, so that way
they
flip on
yeah.
at the same time.
So the ice switch, they have them.
IVAC, yeah. It's on
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yes,
The,
but at least I haven't seen it on Amazon. But I know that somebody's got to make it somewhere because this can't be a novel problem. Is that I have a 220 table saw, but a 110 dust collector. Usually I see the two 110s, or
oh.
that's actually all I've seen now that I think about it.
Yeah, you
Or-
only see two 110s or two 220s.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see. And remember, I was explaining how 220 is.
Yeah,
done?
you should be able
What
to
if you
split
just
that
take one of the
220.
legs,
You can split the 220 and the
you can split
ground.
that. Because if you'd have to have the 220 go into the IVAC switch.
Sorry,
You know what I
no,
mean?
or run a relay. You can do the relay.
Oh yeah, the relay.
A relay will trigger when you like turn on the 220, it'll trigger it, and it'll give you a 110 signal if you wanted to, because it doesn't really move voltage. It's just reading that if power's going through it.
There's flow. Yeah, there's
As long as there's flow, if there's some type of flow, it'll trigger the relay. So you might have to do like a little relay setup or something to get that to work right.
I'm gonna have to call my electrician buddy. Is what it sounds
Or
like.
call Mike knows.
Sounds right.
Griff,
Yeah.
Griff would know. But I
That's
think
right.
that's how
Yeah.
it'll work,
yeah.
the relay, because I've seen those type of relays. So I guess
'Cause
that's how it
really
works.
one of the most annoying things in my shop is like every time I turn on my table saw.
You have to go.
Well, usually I'll go and I'll reach and I'll flick on the dust collector.
Right.
And then turn on the table saw.
I bought I have the remote for it.
That's how lazy I am. I'm sick of that.
I have a 40 amp remote
Yeah.
that to turn on the dust collector.
40 amp remote?
Yeah, it's a 40 amp. Well, it's a 40 amp like box that it goes into.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you
Not
can
like, not like a remote that's in your hand
that's
sends
shooting 40 amps.
power.
No,
Yeah,
no,
like,
sorry.
You could stun somebody with that.
Sorry.
That'd be awesome.
But yeah, so the new shop, man, that thing is besides the power, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a game changer, really. Like the
Better.
space.
As soon as you get dust collection set up, that's when I'll bring slabs.
All right, sounds good. I hold you up to it. Let's
I'm
see.
kidding, man.
Let's see.
I don't-
I'm waiting
I need
for
to
that.
get- I need to clean my shop out. I'm gonna load everything up on the shop,
I'm waiting for you, man.
on the truck. Okay, man. Okay, yeah. It's
We
not-
we left the wall clean.
You know
just
how hard it was to get all
Yo.
that crap out of the. Out of
yeah,
the-
by yourself. I
A
can't
lot of
believe you
frickin'
did
slabs.
it. I can't believe you did it in an afternoon.
Yeah, hey,
I can't believe that, bro. That was a lot of crap.
Check my my Instagram post from today. I'll
All right.
explain it all.
touche. But yeah, no, you gotta bring those suckers over. We have the walls cleaned up. But yeah, so the dust collection is priority right now. The table saw, we gotta make like a workbench table saw type of thing. So the workbench rolls with a table saw sitting on it.
Okay.
You know, make
Okay.
that movable. It's easier. We figured out, you know,
Yeah.
I
Just get
figured
a
everything
saw
on
stop.
wheels. Just call it a day.
Dusko's trying to sell his saw stop. Just buy it from him.
Why? Why is he trying to sell a saw stop?
He doesn't like it anymore. He just texted me about it. Yeah.
What?
What?
See, did you hear that sound? That was him.
Yeah, it's him. Why does he didn't like it?
Ask him.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's like, I'll sell 1,500 right now with the mobile base.
No way. You wish.
I was about to say, I was like, this sounds like a pack of lies. Right?
Yeah, right.
It's
Oh,
like
shit.
all that guy was doing for maybe a week and a half afterward was like,
The
you know,
stupid saw
sucking
stop.
on the teat of
Saw
saw
stop. Yeah, right. No, but by us actually, there's a bay that's selling a 3 horsepower Delta and a 5 horsepower Delta. So that was tempting. But I mean, for what I don't know, at least for what we do, which is just ripping, that 1.5 horsepower is good enough, and I can attach it to the workbench.
Yeah, what are you? You have the rigid, right? The
Yeah, an
contract-
old school like
Yeah.
80s rigid. That's a 1.5 horsepower that it eats. I mean, he just.
You know what? Though? Yeah, if
What?
it's from the 80s, it's a legit 1.5.
It's the good
horsepower,
one.
not
Yeah,
like
it's
the
when the
2 horsepower
contractor
that's
saws
rated
were
today.
like the contractor saws were big.
Yeah.
Like it's like almost a full table one now.
Is it a rigid or is it a pigeon?
Oh no the
Oh man, did you see the response from that guy?
that guy. No, he doesn't speak
Somebody's
Spanish.
got to drop some context on this one because I mean, some people
So-
know, some of the
Sound
folks
like our
that follow
girl
me
right
know.
now.
Thanks,
but-
Uh,
thanks, buddy.
so
Yeah.
anyway, I'm trying to find. Oh, it's on. Never mind. It's on offer up.
It's
There
on
was this
offer up,
guy.
man.
There was a gentleman selling an air compressor. Apparently,
Gentlemen,
it's a
he
five-way.
fucking stole it.
It was he called it a 5-way air compressor, and I'm like, how in the hell is it a 5-way? Like, what 5 things does it do? Like, it's got two air ports on it, like most air compressors, or really one, with a splitter. But I don't know what the hell. But this guy is like, he's trying to sell it, and part of the label, where it says rigid, it's an
It's a weird.
Man, it's really high quality. Oh, so good. So the entire Maker Alliance has been messing with this guy, sending him messages like, "Damn, I haven't seen a pigeon in forever." That type. Of
I can't
stuff,
believe he
you know?
hasn't caught on to it, man.
Yeah,
Like,
the
come
last
on.
thing he said.
Well,
"Say,
he
Holmes,
said
you really
he
want to
doesn't-
buy it. I do a good price for you."
He says he doesn't speak Spanish though. After he wrote him,
Did you see that? I
we're
did
talking
the
about
Asian-
that. Yeah, the Asian thing.
Asian restaurant prank. I need to make the big order, please. How much money?
We were
And
talking
then he
about that
comes back with,
yesterday.
I don't speak no Spanish, Poppy, and it's $200 for the air compressor. I said, I speak Thai, motherfucking guy, you know? I
Oh
said, that's a
god,
lot of money.
that's a lot of money.
No, 200. The lowest I can go is 185, and he said, that's the best I can do, Holmes.
Oh,
And then he came back with, say, Holmes, you really want to buy, I do you a good price. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I never wrote back because I'm done with it.
You didn't want to buy it in the first place.
But
That's
anyway,
funny,
go ahead,
man.
Chris. Sorry.
No, that's it. Like that was really the end of that.
Yeah.
Just Pigeon life.
Pidget.
Pigeon for
Team
life.
Pigeon.
Pigeon, right? No, but
Hashtag
this
Team Pigeon.
this
Yeah.
is an actual rich shit. It's from like it's an 88 or 89 table saw. But
Okay.
I put
You're
a,
rigid?
I just put a new belt on it like 2 weeks ago. It was like $20. Put a belt on it, bro. Well, Griff, he cut down some maple on that thing. He ripped some maple on there. Some
Oh,
8/4
that's what
maple.
that video was from the other
Yeah,
day.
that was him cutting that 8/4 without a problem actually. It stopped like
8/4
one.
maple, no problem.
With no
That's-
problem. The only problem it had was that the what you would call it, the maple had a lot of tension in it, so it was like
Oh.
closing back up on the blade, which
Sexual tension.
yes.
Yeah.
So
I
you
mean that's maple in general.
that's maple in general, right? So that was the only issue that will stop it, but I mean that wasn't
I think that's big stock in general, really. Like
8/4 maple.
8/4, 10/4, anything. It's
Yeah.
got tension in it because it's
Yeah.
dry.
It's big. and
It's big,
dry,
yeah. And then so we cut it without a problem. I mean,
Good.
yeah. So I don't see why we need anything. And then if the base is removable, we can attach it to the workbench. Call it a day.
The story that Griff posted yesterday, I think.
Wait, you
Were you edging him on the CNC, or was that the white oak from the box job?
wait, you're breaking up a little bit. Say that again.
Nice. So
Oh,
broken
sorry.
up.
You're breaking up.
I said this. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but you're like I guess your signal's a little low.
My bad. All right.
All right,
How
now
about
you're
now.
Yeah, you're better now. We just can't see you,
Okay.
but okay.
Okay, cool. So the story that Griff posted
Mhm.
yesterday,
Mhm.
was that your box job, or was that his?
Oh,
maple?
that was his maple workbench.
You're flattening it.
Yes. So then I had to do the box. I had to do all those other stuff. So then I help him. Like I set him up, and then he just did it because it just goes back and forth. You don't have to do much. So we set him up, and I did that, which made it super flat. But like there was a board there that still had tension in it because you see it like reacting,
Yeah.
bowing a little bit. Like it was acting funny.
That's
Photo.
that's the cool thing about having a monster flattener too, because you can let let the boards, relieve their stress, relieve their tension, right?
Yeah.
And glue them up that way.
Yeah.
With very little clamping pressure. You know what I mean? Just make sure they're jointed and they go together nicely. But like let them be tense, let them release their tension, right? And then come back and flatten it in no time.
All right.
Let them bow up. Who cares?
Yeah, I think
Let 'em-
we
'cause
took
then when as soon
maybe.
as you release those clamps after if you put a shit ton of clamping pressure on something,
Right.
it's glued, now it's hard together. Like, okay, now you have a really, you've got a lot of potential energy in your bench top. You don't want that.
No, you don't. Like, the other one that I have worried is one of the ones on the ends, and that looks a little funny because even though we flatten most of it. It just has, you see it, you see it doesn't stay flat.
Yeah.
No matter what we do, we flatten it and everything, and it does not stay flat. No, it's just that one. But
Steam it.
yeah, probably or something like that. But but no, it was great. He threw it on there, and I was like, look, that's all you gotta do. You go up and down, explain it a little bit, and that's it. And he just did it. He's maybe like 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah, it was quick. I mean, we went slow. We took a 16th of a pass because it's the maple.
Yeah,
So
dude, you're gonna burn it.
It
yeah.
burns up. I mean, it was burning up anyway. It's going to burn up regardless on the CNC.
I think, honestly, dude, I'm gonna get you one of those Amana bits with the carbide inserts because that bit that you have is the straight knife.
Well, because it's $17.
I know it's $17.
And I don't do it. But now that we're going to do it more often,
I got you, man.
the
I got you.
Amana.
You know what? I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm gonna be
Oh,
about it.
God, here we go. The Amana's a Mac Daddy. It was 1/2 inch shank. It's badass. It's badass. What are you doing, bro? Don't stop
He's ordering
ordering.
it for you.
He's
on,
actually
fucking
ordering.
Amazon.
Stop ordering.
169, bro. Here it comes.
Stop ordering things, bro.
Look at this.
Stop ordering things.
Okay, I didn't order it yet. But
No,
that's
the
it.
thing is
That's
it's
the one, right?
chunky.
With the replaceable guys.
They're all replaceable.
You're
That they-
replaceable.
Thank you.
Oh, that sounded a lot worse.
That's wow. Thanks, buddy.
I take it back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I see where this is going.
We'll just
shit.
put Dusko on the podcast.
Oh man.
All you gonna see is legs and pants. That's all you're gonna
And
get.
his sound quality will be shit.
It'll
It'll be even worse than yours. It'll be the worst.
Oh my goodness.
It'll
That's
just sound like
true.
a constant echo.
That's true. There you go, man.
All right. Well,
What we think?
fellas, I do believe that the three of us have said our piece
Yeah, man.
for the
Yeah.
week.
I'm
Yeah.
over
I
it.
really appreciate. All right, man. I'm sorry.
Nah.
Let me do this outro real quick, and then you can go. I appreciate everybody listening to us. Again, shout out to AC Nailed It for the thickness gauges and for our very first listener email question.
Yeah, for
I'll
sure.
I'll use the same formula, man. You know, I'm gonna do the same thing until it doesn't work anymore. Can somebody please send us a goddamn email with a question about wood? All right, so that the show.
For the love of
title-
God!
For the love of
Let
God.
the boy move in with you, for God's sakes. Okay, sorry. But yeah, please, listeners, if you do really want us to talk about something in particular, email us at askmeaboutmywood@gmail.com. Any Patreon payments can be made to Chris at Cowdog Craftworks to go and fund his YouTube builds. Any ridiculous questions that don't have anything to do with wood, you can also email them to askmeaboutmywood@gmail.com just so that we have something in the inbox.
Yeah.
Clear, I
I
don't
beg
have
you.
a Patreon, so.
Okay, not yet.
Not yet, at least. Not yet.
So, guys, be sure to visit Chris Cowdog Craftworks on Instagram. Visit his YouTube channel. Make sure you're like and subscribe, all that stuff.
Yeah, subscribe to that.
Arturo the Chopmaster on Instagram is going to keep you posted with all his latest CNC happenings.
Yeah.
And myself, PJ Fetcher, the Evolution of Tables. You know, I'll post some emotional stuff every now and then. No, I'm kidding. That was just today. That quote really spoke to me, man. Anyway, we'll talk about that next week. We'll see you guys later.
Later. Bye.